All right, investors, it's W here from Double U Investing. That's double the letter U Investing. WUinvesting.com for those that are interested, or you can simply go to Google and search Double U Investing and you'll find the website. A common question I get asked a lot is what is the best website for free stock charts? And this is something that is near and dear to my heart because I love technical analysis. It's not necessarily how I trade, but I definitely do look at stock charts quite a bit. So I'm going to give you 4 names that I like. You can choose your best. I have no dog in the fight. I don't get sponsored by any of these websites. I just use them sporadically whenever I need to look at a chart. The site I use the most is stockcharts.com. I would imagine this has got to be the biggest stock chart website on the internet just because of the name. But it's a very useful tool as well. I'll walk you through the process of basically the options, and I'll use Tractor Supply Company as the chart I can look at. Stockcharts.com will put a 50-day moving average and a 200-day moving average on a chart. You can scroll down and look at all these different options you can add to it. For those who are more advanced, you can add a different moving average. You can add some moving average envelopes, some Bollinger Bands, all kinds of stuff here that if you think they matter in investing, you can add them to it. I always add the 20-day moving average. This is my thing. You'll learn that quickly off a 20-day moving average, as TSCO has done. Another stock website that I got introduced to through Google Plus is gogostocks.com. And this is the front page of gogostocks.com. You can probably tell that it's not a website that they have a ton of money invested, but it does offer a great chart. So this is obviously the chart of the this is the S&P 500 on its page. The one thing I don't like about GoGo charts is there's nowhere to put a ticker symbol in on the front page. So you actually have to go to stock chart and let it load, and then you have to type in the ticker symbol under symbol. So we'll do Tractor Supply Company again and look at the chart. But once again, you type in TSCO, where's the chart? You actually have to scroll down to find it. The charting software is really good. They offer a ton of options, as you can see here. It definitely rivals stockcharts.com, but it's just poorly designed in that you might type in a ticker symbol and not even know where your chart is if you don't scroll down. If you get used to the site, I do like it. They put way too much on the chart as far as the defaults, I think. I'm not sure what moving averages they do, if any. I guess they do the MACD and a couple of this. Once again, this is stuff that's not common. You would think they would put a 50 and 200-day moving average on here, and they do not. Moving on is bigcharts.com. This is through CBS Market Watch. And this is their front page. It's going to be a typical news page. You're going to have some news on it. You're going to have some charts here. We'll do Tractor Supply Company as well. Interestingly, on this website, you have a basic chart, advanced chart, and an interactive chart. I always use the basic chart, and the generics will pop up here. Unfortunately, you got to put in your own moving averages. This is as basic as it comes. I don't like this as far as understanding where stocks could go. As you can see, there's nothing on this chart but the price. So you can go to advanced chart or interactive chart and add more stuff, but I rarely use big charts. Every now and then when I want a longer term chart, like a decade chart, I'll go here. This is something that stockcharts.com and GoGo charts does not have. They don't have the decade long chart. But this is important when you're a long-term investor to look at a full decade of what a stock has done. And then a new website that has popped up that's really popular right now is YCharts. I'm noticing that they're advertising a lot, and I'm seeing them all over stock chart websites and other places. And it's a lot of good information. The charts aren't necessarily amazing as far as the stock charts, but they have some other charts that are awesome. So we'll do Tractor Supply Company again. And you'll see that it basically has a line chart and not a ton of moving averages or stuff like that. As you can see, it's just a line chart. You can set it out to 10 years, do max without being a gold member. So if you're a longer term investor, but what YCharts offers that is great is they offer all kinds of other charts as far as fundamentals. And something I always like to look at is total assets. How much has the company grown over the last few years? And you get a chart here. I honestly don't know another website that's free that offers total assets in a chart. So this is something, obviously Tractor Supply Company has went from 1.1 billion to 1.6 billion in total assets over time. This is not something I use as my only stock choice. I don't pick a stock just because total assets are increasing, but it does tell you that they are a pretty good company. I mean, if you look at it over 10 years, they've obviously grown, and that's part of the reason the stock has gone up. Another website that, I look at every day, pretty much throughout the entire day, is finance.google.com. Some of us older investors remember when the only option was finance.yahoo.com, and that is still popular, but it's not the only option anymore. And, if you do TSCO, you're going to get a chart, and you're going to get the information here. And the chart's a little slow to load. It's probably my computer. But you have multiple options here with this chart, and it's really interactive because you can scroll over certain times of the day and see the exact price. And if you want to do a 3-month, the price on March 13th, it was $88.29. And it's a great resource to use for years ago. You can pull and drag and do different time dates and see, during the credit crisis, what was the price at down here, down at $14.33, and where did it go after earnings and after dividends and splits and stuff like that. So if you're new to investing, I would suggest looking at finance.google.com as one of your resources. It's probably not the best stock charting resource for technical analysis, but it may be the most visually pleasing. I would suggest starting with stockcharts.com and, maybe getting some more information on YCharts. As far as go-go charts and big charts, there are options to use, but mine is, for me, stockcharts.com is the most amazing resource that is free on the internet, and they do have deals to get a better set of data through more charts if you pay. I've never signed up for this, but if you're a really big technical analyst, you may want to consider it. So if you are looking to get into investing or you are a current investor, let me know what stock charting questions you have or the websites you use. I mostly use free ones, but if there are any premium ones out there that you might want to suggest, let me know. And go to W Investing and follow my stock tips.